It's been a while since I've done one of these. I am back in Bangkok after a pretty cool weekend. Now on Friday, I went to the Grand Palace, and a lot of people think that the Grand Palace is where the king would live, It makes sense, but actually, he moved off that residence and he lives in a building that's nearby, but not actually in the Grand Palace. And the Grand Palace is open for tourists, and if you check out my Facebook page, you can see a lot of the pictures I took while I was there. But after the Grand Palace, almost immediately after, I went to a small island off the coast of Thailand called Koh Samet. It was pretty cool, a little touristy, but it was an island, so I couldn't really complain, I found myself doing all kinds of cool things, the typical things, going to the beach, just hanging out with friends, going to cool restaurants, so far up on the beach that water would be running under your table. But I also, one of the coolest things I did was I went on a sunset cruise. And what happened is we got on the boat about 4 o'clock and it drove us around to the western side of the island. Pretty much all of those resorts, with one exception, was on the eastern side. The western side is mostly uninhabited. He drove us around to the western side, and there were 2 separate spots on the western shore that he took us to go snorkeling. And I'd never been snorkeling before, so it was such a cool experience. I really liked it. We kind of got to, the first spot we went to was pretty shallow, so we were just kind of staying along the top, maybe diving down a little, but it was cool to swim in the little canals made by all the coral and the fish. And there were also these huge spiky balls, seriously, with spikes like this long. It was crazy. But in the second spot, it was much deeper. It was pretty amazing to dive down and look at these pieces of coral that were like 6 or 7 feet tall. It was pretty awesome. We did all that, and then we rode around and watched the sunset that day. The sunset wasn't particularly that great. It was kind of cloudy, but it was still incredible, to be honest. And other than that, me and one of my friends, Joe, we went and walked down almost all the way to the southern tip of the island. It took us about 2 or 3 hours, but by the time we got back, we had seen some of the more secluded beaches on the island, and it was just beautiful, absolutely. So we did all that, but one of the coolest parts of the trip actually was getting to the island, because the bus I took was what's called a second-class bus, and what it did was it took us through a lot of the back roads to get to the island, or at least to the port where we take the ferry to the island. And I saw one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It was a mountain, probably a 3,000-foot mountain. It's hard to say, to be honest, but at the base of it was a temple. It was pretty much the only building around, and it was just this traditional Thai temple, gigantic, ornate, with all kinds of cool things on it, by itself, right at the base of the mountain. And it was just so cool. That's all I can really say about it. I wish I had some better words, but it's just the one that keeps coming to mind. So it was a great trip, and really quick, I'm going to show you some footage I got while I was there.
When we first met, we were kids, we were wild, we were restless. After a while, I grew coarse, I grew cold, I grew reckless. I hold this memory, pulled you so close to me, whispered, will we always have? Lately it feels like I'm sleeping, and I just can't wait. Pacing the floor to call, but I can't, so I am sharing a seat on the train with a lady who's crying. just how young, how scared I was. Eyes closed tight, throwing punch after the world. Share, is it ever gonna be the same? Share, is it ever gonna be the same? Share, is it ever gonna be the same? Share, is it ever gonna be the same?
Tell him Grand Palace. He doesn't know where the Grand Palace is.
So we did all that. Now I'm back in Bangkok doing this school thing. In a couple days I'm gonna update with another one of these and let you know what my classes are, what my whole school experience looks like at this point. But I'm looking forward to experiencing more things in Bangkok and also showing you a little of what else the whole country of Thailand has to offer. Hope everything is going well in the States, and I'll see you.